The intelligence of Antifa and Black Lives Matter and all of the activists who say their philosophy and their objectives are for equality and the end of racism. And they accomplish their goals partly on Capitol Hill in Seattle, Washington, using psychology and psychiatry, calling the police and having people taken away on stretchers, saying, well, if you're too shaky-eyed and you're too blurry sounding, then you are distracting their cause, their revolution, and therefore not permitted to shop in their grocery store. They wear black. They run around chasing one gender-neutral human after another. They spray paint anarchy graffiti. They sit outside of grocery stores and leave urine and filth and trash. And when someone tries to shop at a different grocery store in the same location in a different sector, there's tents waiting, more trash, more men with straight faces and humans who barely look alive, whispering and using their voices to cause distraction and hallucination for consciousness they truly believe has to do with the drugs they provide, the tobacco cigarettes they hand out to their warriors. And when those two sectors in a location called Seattle, Capitol Hill, are too fast, too manic, a Sikh arrives, a cultural elder parachutes in from a community center, and a tribal cultural city council has their members arrive with repetitive red colored clothing and style. Those who want no government have joined forces with those who say they have solved racism mathematically and philosophically and with language. But when asked about their math, they say there's already been a mistake made by a person who doesn't acknowledge the need for cognitive dissonance. And so a human goes to a bus station precariously avoiding danger and risk, takes a ride to the University of Washington, a college Seattle Children's Hospital has said recently are racist, whose faculty and staff and teachers and professors are neurosurgeons, clinical physicians, and nurses, where a human who said they worked there for 25 years declared hostility too intense and dominant. A human arrives over at the hospital next to the University of Washington campus, boards a bus filled with humans, people, folks, during a coronavirus pandemic, with a backpack to hold cold food, ice packs to keep the chill and the freeze for an eventual attempt back to a home an apartment, a studio, a human arrives in Greenwood. And for those rich and powerful and famous and technologically advanced car driving, climate change protesters, they go to Whole Foods, take a walk around Green Lake, get some coffee at a white painted Starbucks, and return home in minutes. Sometimes less than a half an hour. A person shops at one of a few grocery stores not shut down from theft and shoplifting. Says hi, maybe hypothetically, to a Tibetan shop owner who's been in the area for almost 30 years. Who speaks about new carpet and his daughter learning remotely out east now. And after the bags are packed at the grocery store, the medicines gathered for arthritis treatment, there's another hour and a half ride home to a home next to humans who eliminate their targets, who have camouflage and are too masculine, too similar to what they have described in their teachings about who to target, who's the objective, and how to defeat them and cause war in the process within their system of denying food and valuable essentials, and then forcing those racists they call, who hunt those animals instead of buying those little plastic wrapped styrofoam packages in an area they know well and have plenty of vegan options available and choices to make about distances, ethnicities, dialects, and cultures to send after those they call wolves and animals in need of dominance and destruction. And 3 hours later, cold and wet, there's no heat provided by a landlord with no restrictions involved for dizziness and nausea caused by those who deny the grocery stores a block away, a mile up the road, to anyone and everyone who doesn't follow their laws, they say, aren't from the police, but from a gang, a cartel, an economical cannabis shop, instead of dollars and cents and sustainability, they say cause too much conflict for their women and their ladies and their gender neutral girls, and require too much energy from their barbarians, their men with their dreadlocks, their boys and their lisps, and their thieves and their assassins prowling and patrolling in earth and a land they call their own now.